Summer 1150, Suffolk County, England. In the village of Woolpit, named for the deep pits dug to trap wolves, harvest workers made a discovery that would challenge everything medieval minds believed about the boundaries between worlds. The reapers were working the fields near the ancient wolf traps when they heard voices speaking in a language that belonged to no earthly nation. Following the strange sounds, they discovered two children huddled beside one of the deep earthen pits. But these were not ordinary lost children. Their skin bore the pale green tint of fresh spring leaves. They wore clothes made from fabric no English weaver had ever produced. And when they opened their mouths, incomprehensible words spilled forth a language as alien as their appearance. The boy appeared to be 6 years old, his sister perhaps 8. Both stared at their rescuers with eyes wide with terror, as if the very sunlight burning down upon them was more frightening than any wolf that might have fallen into those pits. Sir Richard de Calne, the local lord, took custody of the strange children. At his manor house, servants offered them bread, meat, milk, and fruits. The children recoiled from every morsel as if it were poison. For 4 days, they refused all sustenance, growing weaker by the hour. The household feared these otherworldly visitors would starve themselves to death rather than accept Christian charity. Then, on the 4th day, one of the children spotted something in de Calne's garden that made them both cry out with desperate hunger. Raw, broad beans, still in their pods. The children fell upon the beans like starving animals, consuming them pod and all, green matter staining their already verdant lips. For weeks, this was their only food. Raw beans became their sole source of life, as if their alien constitutions could process nothing else from our world. Gradually, something miraculous occurred. As the children learned to accept cooked beans, then bread, then milk, their supernatural green coloring began to fade like morning mist before the sun. But with each passing day, as their skin grew more human, the boy grew more frail. His younger constitution could not adapt to our harsh, sun-scorched realm. He died before he could be baptized, taking whatever secrets he possessed to an unmarked grave. The girl survived. She learned English, accepted baptism, and was given the Christian name Agnes. And when she finally found her voice to tell her story, the tale she revealed defied all earthly understanding. "We come from the land of St. Martin," she said, her words carrying the weight of impossible memories. "It is a realm where the sun never rises, where everything exists in eternal twilight, neither day nor night, but something in between." She spoke of an underground world where all inhabitants bore green skin, where the light never grew brighter than dusk, where a luminous country could be glimpsed across a great river. Her homeland existed in perpetual shadow, she claimed, lit only by the soft glow that comes before sunrise or after sunset. "My brother and I were tending our father's cattle when we heard the sound of great bells ringing," Agnes continued, her voice growing distant as she recalled that fateful day. "The cattle wandered toward a cave, drawn by the beautiful music echoing from within. We followed them into the darkness, deeper and deeper underground. The sound of the bells grew louder with each step, until suddenly there was a great rushing of wind, like 1,000 voices calling our names. When we opened our eyes, we were lying beside your wolf pit, and the terrible bright sun was burning our vision for the first time in our lives. We had crossed from our shadow realm into your world of blinding light." 2 respected medieval chroniclers independently recorded Agnes's account. William of Newburgh, canon of Newburgh Priory, documented the story in his Historia Rerum Anglicarum. Ralph of Coggeshall, abbot of Coggeshall Abbey, corroborated the tale in his Chronicon Anglicanum. These were not storytellers or collectors of folklore. They were educated men of the church, historians who dealt in documented facts, not fairy tales. William even expressed his own skepticism, writing that he felt crushed into believing such an impossible account. Yet both men interviewed witnesses. Both verified details. Both concluded that something genuinely inexplicable had occurred in Woolpit. Agnes lived among the English for many years, working in de Calne's household. She was described as wanton and impudent, Perhaps the trauma of losing everything she had ever known had hardened her spirit against this strange new world. Eventually, she married Richard Barre, a royal official from King's Lynn, and disappeared into the anonymity of medieval life. But the questions she left behind have echoed through 8 centuries of speculation. Modern historians have proposed rational explanations. Perhaps the children were Flemish refugees, speaking a dialect Sir Richard failed to recognize. Perhaps their green pallor resulted from malnutrition, from chlorosis or green sickness. But these theories fail to account for the children's complete inability to communicate in any known language, their strange clothing, their refusal of all normal food, and most disturbing of all, their detailed, consistent description of an impossible underground realm. If Agnes was merely a traumatized refugee child, how did she maintain such elaborate fiction about the land of St. Martin? Why did she never slip in her story, never contradict herself, never reveal any knowledge of the surface world she supposedly came from? The wolf pits of Woolpit have long since been filled with earth, but the mystery remains as deep as they ever were. Today, the village bears a sign commemorating the Green Children, a testament to an event that medieval minds recorded as fact, but modern logic struggles to accept. Were Agnes and her brother refugees from a hidden world existing parallel to our own, survivors of some dimensional crossing that occasionally allows passage between realms? Or something far stranger, proof that reality itself is more fragile than we dare believe? Perhaps the most unsettling possibility is the one Agnes herself provided, that beneath our feet, in caverns and shadows we've never explored, exists the land of St. Martin, a twilight realm where different rules apply, where the barriers between worlds grow thin enough for lost children to slip through. Some doorways, once opened, can never truly be closed. Some visitors from other realms leave questions that 8 centuries of investigation cannot answer. The Green Children of Woolpit remind us that in a world growing certain of its scientific explanations, mystery still exists. Wonder still lurks in the spaces between what we know and what we fear to discover. Subscribe to the Midnight Whispers for true terror drawn from forgotten chronicles. One impossible story, one haunted night. Dare to join us in the shadows between worlds?